Joining me today to discuss industrial cybersecurity is Chet Mroz, President of Mission Secure. Welcome, Chet.
Thank you, Sid, and it's good to be here after 2 years of not seeing people at this event.
I agree. You know, industrial cybersecurity is a real broad range of products and services and things like that. To frame this interview, to frame for our viewers, can you kind of describe where Mission Secure fits there?
I think one of the unique things about Mission Secure's platform product is that we're attempting to cover the entire range of cybersecurity activities throughout the life cycle of projects and activities in this area. And actually, Sid, you know, you've always shown your ARC maturity model for cybersecurity. And it's actually what we've chosen as our sort of roadmap model to go forward in terms of each of the steps that you described there. And that starts to clarify to people different functions in these areas, okay? Because right now, different people do some pieces of them and not other pieces of them. But it's our objective to try to have a platform that will combine all of that into one life cycle approach.
You know, well, that's flattered that you're using our model. The one thing we see with a lot of our clients is people struggle to maintain their cybersecurity. One thing is to buy the solutions. Another thing is to maintain them and take care of them. How can Mission Secure help them do that?
Well, I guess the first question here was they have so many things to choose from. And over the last, let's say, 2 years that I started looking at this activity, it's amazing how many new companies have surfaced. And frankly, I don't know how some of the end users keep up with it, okay? There's certainly enough consultants and people like ARC that help clarify all of that, but it's still a major problem. So I think the roadmap we're choosing for our platform allows us to give that some clarity and also specificity of what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. So I think that's a help for end users by itself, all right?
Okay, another question. You know, digital transformation, as you know, it's a key topic. It's been for quite a while with ARC forums. But we often find that cybersecurity is concerns about cybersecurity is causing problems in adoption of a lot of digital transformation ideas. Do you find the same thing to be true? And if so, how can you help them?
Right, it's absolutely true. And you're right that the entire industrial Internet of Things that started almost 5 years ago, and then a lot of people didn't understand it then, but it rapidly got adopted. In my opinion, one of the most rapid things that was adopted in the industrial automation or industrial world. And it brings into focus the very different architectures that we have from the past and what they are today, with cloud computing, edge devices, more data handling, etc. So these things all complicate and make it more difficult to protect against all the different things that we're connecting to now through the internet.
What do you see as the most disruptive of these new technologies that people are about?
Well, I think we've talked about the cloud many, many years ago and virtualization, but I think now it's sort of a reality and it's rapidly gaining acceptance by the end user community and the users of this technology. And the edge devices now are becoming much more intelligent, okay, with quite a bit more processing power. And one new technology that's coming up, and we don't yet know how to interpret it or protect it against all the connectivity that it enables, and that's the new Ethernet APL for field devices. And that's going to add a level of much higher speeds, capabilities for transmitting data for more and more edge devices and measurements. So the connectivity surface attack area is rapidly increasing now.
You know, since you bring that up, you know, one thing we see a lot is, I think, you know, the more sophisticated attacks and targeted attacks. And the thing that I worry about, and a lot of our clients do, is how does that impact things like safety system? And, these are things those are the real family jewels,
Right.
that you want to protect. And so can Mission Secure help companies at that level?
Well, I think we can, especially with our ability to go down to, in the Purdue model, the level 0 of the connectivity of field devices that are measurements direct to the cloud. This is a major new issue. And before, the field devices went through different controllers and different other different controllers and systems, and then connected up to higher and higher levels. And what we have is an ability to monitor at the level 0 level and compare to what is coming from higher levels in the Purdue model layers. All right, which then allows a protection to be provided in a passive way.
Yesterday in my presentation, I called it Cybersecurity Today and Tomorrow. Tomorrow I see a lot of threats and things like that. So I'm just wondering about what you would recommend people do to kind of prepare for tomorrow. Now, I don't know if you agree with my tomorrow, but
Yeah.
with tomorrow, it's going to be tomorrow. But.
Well, yeah, I did agree with your presentation with regards to that. For tomorrow, I think we have to start embedding cybersecurity at the beginning of new investments and new projects. We're not doing that right now. Everything we do around cybersecurity is around what's already installed, what is legacy, and so on. But as the new projects come in, especially with all the energy transition activities and new renewable pursuits and so on, we're going to redesign the architecture of these automation systems. And that architecture is going to be truly a distributed and digital transformation type of architecture. So getting ready for that, and the engineering companies that support the end users in building the new plants is going to be a challenge. All right.
Well, Chet, it's been a pleasure talking to you as always.
Right.
So,
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We've been speaking today with Chet Mroz, who's the president of Mission Secure. Thank you for watching.